Would we be being manipulated with green screen technology? Now, we know they use green screen technology in movies when it comes to special effects, but is the media using green screen technology? Are news reports faked? Does anyone else think it was kind of strange that during the 2024 presidential debates that there was not allowed to have an audience there? Right? Did anybody else think that was kind of strange? Well, I'm going to show you something that shows that they have been, or they may be manipulating us with green screen technology in every normal day life, not just in movies. Now, for those who aren't familiar with green screen technology, what it basically is, as you can see in this picture on the right-hand side, that they put up like a green curtain or some sort of green material that if you stand in front of the green screen, this green material, then when you edit it, you can eliminate the green background and insert any background that you want. Now, clearly we can see why they use this in movies, but what if they're using this in everyday life and we didn't even know that half the stuff we may be looking at could be fake? And this is a close-up on that image, and you can see what it does, that you could stand in any room, and if you have this green material behind you, then you can easily swap out the green background and put whatever background you want. And here's another picture of green screen technology in production. You can see that you have all this green background, and then makes the background easy to insert to any image that you want. So just that we're clear on exactly what this is, you can see what it is, you can see what it does, you can see how what it looks like. So what if this is being done in everyday life and what we see on the news media? What if half the stuff we see is fake? Are they using this stuff outside of production movies? So I'm going to show you an example of a mistake that reveals that this green screen technology is being used without us knowing it in a very manipulative way. That something came through this video and it wasn't edited out. It's a mistake, but this mistake kind of reveals the truth that green screen technology is being used behind our back in areas that we're not aware of. So recently I was on a trip down memory lane and I was recalling old Bruce Lee movies. And as I was going through these old Bruce Lee movies, and I just started to do more and more research on Bruce Lee, I came across this video where Drew Barrymore was interviewing Bruce Lee's daughter. So I'm going to play this clip and notice the mistake, a mistake that the editors did not catch, a mistake that reveals something very, I think, manipulative that we need to be aware of. So watch the background closely when Drew Barrymore introduces Bruce Lee's daughter.
The remarkable efforts of his daughter, Shannon Lee. And in her new book, Be Water, My Friend, The Teachings of Bruce Lee, is available now. I've been reading it. It's incredible. Shannon, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, there was a sentence that really spoke to me. How does one honor?
Did you catch that? Did you see the mistake that was not edited out properly? So let me play it again and just pay close attention to the background as soon as they show Bruce Lee's daughter on the screen.
So much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, there was a sentence that really spoke to me. How does one honor?
So now I'm going to explain what I see, and let me know in the comments if you see this. But what it looks like is that Bruce Lee's daughter is not even in the same studio as Drew Barrymore. And it seems like this green screen technology is being used and it inserted the same background where Drew Barrymore is at over where Bruce Lee's daughter is at. But it seemed like for a second that the technology glitched and it didn't transition fast enough. So for a glimpse, you can see the green screen. You can see that she's not even sitting in the same studio. So now let me play it again, zoomed up, so you can get a better look at it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so before I even get into it, I'm going to now play it in slow motion. So let's take a look at this in slow motion and see exactly what is going on. And you can see the fake background being inserted over Bruce Lee's daughter, which is the same background that is actually in Drew Barrymore's background. So now I'm going to break this down frame by frame. So you can clearly see that as soon as she introduces Bruce Lee's daughter, you can see that she's not even sitting in the same studio. You can see the chair that she's on. And if you look closely at the television screen, the one towards the left, you can see Drew Barrymore on the TV screen. So what it appears to be is that she's in this other room and she's looking at Drew Barrymore on a TV screen. And then if you notice the platform that she's sitting on, so if you can see where I have that red arrow at the bottom, she's sitting on a platform that looks like, I don't know, it could be like a foot tall or so. So she's sitting on a raised platform where you see that red arrow is at. And then where you see I have the black arrow, you can see that her foot is going to be lined up exactly with Drew Barrymore's foot. So it seems that she's on a raised platform to give you the illusion that she's sitting directly across from Drew Barrymore. And as we can see, as the fake background starts to insert itself, which is really the background where Drew Barrymore is actually at, you can see where those arrows are at, that she's sitting on a raised platform to line up her foot with Drew Barrymore's foot. And now that that mistake is gone, that the editors didn't catch, it looks like she's sitting right in front of Drew Barrymore. Now, what's interesting about this is that if it wasn't for that mistake in the editing and the fact that this AI system, or whatever they're using, it had a delay for just a split second where it showed the green background where she was really sitting at. And then the fact that the editors didn't catch that. Well, if you look at this picture, you would have no idea that she's not really sitting across from her if it wasn't for that mistake. Now, when mistakes like this happen, I think it's the universe. You see, there's something called universal law, or the law of free will. And this is stuff that I'm still learning about myself. But I believe that the universe, or God, whatever you want to look at it as it being the universe, or if it's God or the universe will always reveal the truth to us. It's up to us if we want to see it. So I think that this little glitch in the video is divine intervention of revealing the fakery that we all need to be aware of. And here's the thing, I'm not saying anything bad about Drew Barrymore or Bruce Lee's daughter. They're not doing anything criminal. I mean, everybody's using this green screen technology. But I think that when they make a mistake like that, then I have the right to point it out, to bring awareness that we're being misled with a lot of stuff like this. We can't trust anymore what we're seeing on TV. The AI is too good. And in this case, I mean, even in a talk show, because here's the thing, Drew Barrymore could have flown Bruce Lee's daughter out on a private jet to her studio. So I'm not even sure why they would need to do this when you're dealing with people that are rich. But clearly, if people are doing this kind of stuff with a simple talk show, then it's like we can't even trust a talk show anymore. Like, are they really even sitting in front of the person they're sitting in front of? So when we look at these two things side by side, I mean, it's very clear that this is what we're looking at. We're looking at green screen technology. We're looking at Bruce Lee's daughter in a completely different place with this green screen technology where they can just insert the same background and make us think that she's sitting directly across from Drew Barrymore. And when this kind of stuff happens, it goes deeper than just on a surface level, because if we can clearly see that she's not really sitting there, then that also means that the audience would have to be fake, right? Because the audience would know that Drew Barrymore is sitting in front of an empty chair, right? They would have to know that. So now you're going a little bit deeper, because that means, well, does that mean that the audience is fake too? Is the whole thing fake? Or is it some sort of a hologram, right? I mean, is there a real audience that's looking at some sort of a hologram of Bruce Lee's daughter who's in another state or something like that? I don't know. But without being an expert in green screen technology, just using common sense and street smarts, we're being manipulated. And if they can use this type of technology for not even a good reason, like just a talk show, which is, again, she could have Bruce Lee's daughter flown out on a private jet to her studio. So when you see them using this technology kind of like carelessly like this, when there's not even a need for it, going back to, say, the 2024 presidential debates, I mean, again, why did they say that nobody could be there in person? Why were the debates recorded in front of, or why were the debates not recorded in front of a live audience? Why couldn't there be a live audience there? Is it possible that it's because of stuff like this, right? I mean, was Trump and Harris even in the same building when they had those debates? I don't know, right? I'm just basing it on what we can see here. So, again, I'm not saying that this is anything criminal, that there's anything wrong that they're doing this, but it's very misleading when she introduces Bruce Lee's daughter and says, "Thank you for being here with us," if she's really not there. And we just need to be aware that basically the way this technology is getting, they're not just using these type of special effects in movies. I mean, I understand if it's Jurassic Park. If you're watching Jurassic Park, well, obviously you know they're using green screen technology because the actor's not going to be standing next to a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like, we understand that, or X-Men, or even like the Fast and Furious, all those crazy action scenes they do. Of course, we know that that's fake. But what is this world coming to, that when even watching a talk show, something as innocent as just an interview, that the person is not really even sitting there? So what I learned from this, and I guess the little bit of street knowledge that I want to impart with this video, is that we need to be more interactive with people in person. We need to kind of get away from all of this video chat. And I mean, video chat is good when that's the only alternative, but we really need to be connecting with people in person. And we really need to not put so much stock on what we're seeing with our eyes on videos, because we can see how easily things can be manipulated. So we really need to get together in person more and interact with people in person. When we're doing interviews or things like that, we should really try to get away from all this video chat stuff, because this is what it's coming to. It's coming to the point where we really don't even know if we're dealing with a real person or AI or some sort of green screen technology.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.